Okay, so today we're going to be doing the old cow barn or dairy, the Laidley Pioneer Village. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the volunteers here at the village have made their own cow. It'd be a bit hard to keep a cow on hand, wouldn't it? So they made it out of a mesh and a bit of steel, and I've been told one of the ladies there made like a skin out of hessian to go around the skeleton, go around the frame. And it really came out quite good. And then one of the guys come along with an old cow hide, so they're throwing that over it, and Don's actually called the cow Laidley Daisy. Now, as you can see, I've done most of the outline off camera, all the little fiddly bits, because there's a lot of rubbing out to do and getting it right. And of course I use the grid method again to get everything in the right place, but it just takes so long, and it is a tedious part of the drawing. I mean, it's the part I really do enjoy drawing, but at the same time it's not so enjoyable to watch, just stop starting and rubbing this out and then rubbing that out and putting in little marks here and there. So anyway, I'm at the stage where we've got most of the underdrawing done, most of the outline done, and now it's just a matter of going back in and really just finishing off where I want everything to go. Now, as you can imagine, like all the stuff here, or all the buildings and the items they have on display, have all been donated by locals. And the cow barn or dairy came from a little place down the road called Plainland, and it's only about 5-10 minutes down the road. And the farmer that they got it off had no further use for a dairy shed there, so he gave the guys a ring at the village and said, listen, I've got this old cow barn, cow bale. If you're interested in it, you can come and get it. Otherwise, he was just going to scrap it because, like he said, he had no further use for it, just taking up space. So what happened was some of the volunteers went down there and they pulled it all down and laid a concrete pad where it is today, and then brought it all back and put it all together again. So that was back in 2003. And like Don said, if you watched last week's video about how the place was sort of left neglected for so long, not because people didn't want to do anything about it, but because people were busy doing other things, and there was no one here on site that had any practical knowledge of working on a dairy farm. So because Don was brought up on a dairy farm, he sort of knew what to do. And I'm finding that everyone here has some particular specialist job that they're good at. Whether it be like Barry, the carpenter, he's got the woodworking skills, and then you've got Don that's got the dairy skills, then you've got other people that are good at working with tractors and mechanical stuff. And then you've got other people like the ladies in the accession room, like Anna and Lorraine and Brenda. Everything's got to be archived and put in its proper place. And then they need a secretary, someone to take the minutes at their meetings. You've got to have cleaners, you've got to have gardeners. It's like a little community, and everyone there has their own role to play. And of course, you've got to try and get on with people, because people have got different ideas and different ways of doing things. And I guess at the end of the day, most of the volunteers that are here because they want to be here, because they get a lot of satisfaction from doing what they do, which really is to preserve the history of the area. And like any organisation, you've got to have a president, you've got to have an executive, a place where people can, that are elected, that can make decisions, that can say, well, let's try this, or let's do that. And it can't be rudderless. Someone's got to steer the ship. And I think overall, in general, you've got a group of, like-minded people that really have the same sort of goals and intentions, good intentions, to do the best they can to make this, a wonderful place to visit, because they get a lot of tourists coming in here, and schools. It really is a great place to come to if you want to learn something about the area, about the history, about how they used to do it in the old times. And just like us, small-time YouTubers, small-time creators on YouTube, they need support as well. Now, they have a Facebook page, so I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. So when you get the chance, jump on over there, because I know they really appreciate your support. Well, once again, I think it's about that time where I stop talking. So depending on what part of the world you're in, grab a glass or a cup of your favourite drink, sit back and relax, listen to the sounds, think about the wonderful weekend ahead, and I'll see you in a few minutes.